Alright, welcome back everybody. Today Nora and I are at Pioneer Village in Worthington, Minnesota. We have both been here before, but we thought this would be kind of a neat little deal for us to show you guys. So we'll just get after it here, and apparently I think most of these buildings, or all of them, were brought in here from around the county, I believe, and then set up so you could kind of see how things were from back in the day. So this looks like it's an old schoolhouse.
Yes.
So there's grasshoppers again that Nora freaks out about. Oh yeah, a little one-room school building. I know for a fact that my dad went to a school like this when he was a kid, because he's told me several times. It's an old water fountain, apparently. Heating stove.
Okay, it's not.
Oh yeah. Music. Oh yeah, look at that.
They got all old books.
Oh yes. Old phonograph.
What's that?
Yeah, it's a record player, but it's called a phonograph. This is pretty cool. When I was a kid, my mom had some old desks like this. We had, I think, a couple sets of these in our basement that we used to sit and play on all the time. Here, Nora's ready to go back to school.
Yeah.
Alright. We'll show you the next cool thing that we come across. Looks like an old gas station. The old pumps. Oh, they still got good glass on the top of them. That's rare that we would find that on these old pumps. I learned that from the show American
Oh,
Pictures.
you can actually cut the grass with those.
Yeah, those are all. I had, growing up when I was a kid, we had an old neighbor. She was an old lady. That's what she used. She didn't have her newer lawnmower. She pushed one of them suckers around. That's a pretty cool sign. Not sure why they have a stuffed owl in here. It's a gas station, for crying out loud. Old oil dispensers.
That's cool.
Old cash register. Ribbon writer, whatever that is. Woo woo. Alright, not much to see in this building. We'll head off to the next one here. Transportation building.
This is where they have all the cars and stuff.
Oh.
They actually still drive some of these around for the French Day Parade. They use the old funeral.
Oh, really? This is cool. This is cool. Old cars. I like old cars. They have an old fire station, right? And they have old fire trucks in there? I can't wait to see that. I don't know if I've ever mentioned on our videos before,
you can come down here.
but I am a volunteer firefighter, so I do like old fire engines and firefighter memorabilia. I collect a bunch. I have a bunch in my basement. Ooh, look at that. Is that a VW bus? No, it's a Ford. That is sweet. That would be awesome. I want it. Maybe I'll ask them how much they want for it. I'm pretty sure they won't sell it. That is so cool. Man. Old highway department truck. Big old snow blower on the front of it. Or is that a blower or a plow? Oh, it's a snow blower.
Funeral home.
Yeah, snow blower. Yes.
They use that in the parade. They hook up horses to it.
Oh, really? In the parade here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right, we'll be back when we find more stuff, peeps. So this building is a carpenter shop. At least that's what they're calling it, but you know, they got all the old saws and tools, and it's just kind of neat for me to look at. My business is kind of a woodworking type deal. I build countertops. And someday you guys will get to see what I do for a business. Yeah, this has got all the old school, like planes, like a hand plane. That is really old. Those are neat though. I've always wanted to get one of these because they work really, really well. What is this? What is this? If anybody knows what this is, tell me in the comments. I don't know what that is. Huh. Don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. This is an old saw. This is old school scroll saw that you pump with your foot. I bet you had to do a lot of pumping with your foot. An old drill press. That's pretty cool. I wonder if it, everything, they got everything locked up. I think on purpose, probably, so you can't mess with it. Old jack, maybe, yeah. All right. Ooh, look at that. Big ol' axe. Okay. We're heading out. Alright, we're coming up on the hospital. Dr. May. Oh, and a dentist too. Dr. Yankum. Nice. Dr. Yankum. Waiting chairs.
They actually do operations out in the open.
Oh yeah, yeah, they didn't know. They didn't know that they had to be sterile and all that stuff back then.
Dr. Yakum, oh, this is the dentist guy.
Yeah. Oh boy, look at that. Stirrups.
They have an iron lung.
They have an iron lung?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. This is an old eye. Something with eyes would be my guess. That one too. Oh yeah, they do have an iron lung. Now, I know for a fact that this is not that old because I worked in the clinic 10 years ago that still had one of these. I mean, it's old, but not. Oh, an old electrocardiograph. Seriously? It's like it's an old EKG. That's crazy. There's an old eye machine. There's the old iron lung. Used by polio or infantile paralysis victims.
Huge.
Old instruments. Yeah. None of those are used anymore. Excuse me. Operating room. Old instruments here too. A lot of these, like the clamps and stuff, I know a lot of those are still used, forceps and yeah. X-ray tube, dentist chair and stuff. Alright, what was this thing? Oh, that's the old sterilizer. Sure. Alright. Oh, I know that engine would be cool. Alright, old train station. So I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, I'm not gonna show you everything that's here because there's literally probably close to 30 buildings, maybe more, 40 buildings here. And so,
You can go in there.
yep. So if you guys want to see this stuff, you got to come here and take a look. I mean, it's cheap. For Nora and I, it was only $10 to come in here to take a look at this stuff, and it's really cool. I mean, really, really cool.
Oh, God.
Yeah, be careful. Nora's climbing up on the train. Hopefully she doesn't fall. That'd be bad news. Let's see if I can get up here without falling and using one hand. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, what's that? What's that up there? Oh, they got it closed up. Well, you could, but I'm not going up there. But yeah.
You could
Little seating area up
you
there.
could climb up there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not very agile anymore. Or maybe I never was. Oh, here. This was the easier way to get up and down, Nora.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew that.
Well, why didn't you say something? Dad's big butt. All right. It's kind of neat to see all the different ways they heated buildings, like all the different looking wood burning stoves. Please do not touch artifacts, Nora. Touching stuff. Oh, here's the old telegraph stuff.
They have a phone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see, here's another one. That's cool. Kalamazoo.
Why does that rabbit have antlers?
Oh, it's a jackalope. Jackalope. They're not real. Hey, upper.
They have old uniforms.
Yep, I saw that. I saw that. This is just the old waiting area, I'm assuming. Oh yeah, trains are leaving. That's when the trains come and leave. There's another old wood burning stuff. That's cool how many different ones they have here. Oh yeah, won't see these anymore either. You'll find it on the internet. Fire station. That might be, not sure, but that could be the, because it's so tall, the hose drying tower.
They got much of your dad.
Oh, where's the one that has the fire truck? Oh, here it is. This one. This is the one.
They have just one.
I think there's another building that has more though, but that's old school right there. My department used to have an old one like this that they hung on to forever, but I don't know where it went to. This is the old pump. The old pump, and these are your, this is probably your master steamer. Or what would be your master steamer. Most likely from back in the day. That's hard suction. I find it hard to believe that they would have had hard suction back then, but maybe they did. It looks like those little trays are exactly to hold that. Pretty cool. And I think this is the water storage tank. I don't know how many gallons that is, but fire trucks these days hold 1,500, 1,000 gallons. That's probably 20 gallons at the most. I don't know what this is all about. Old ladders. It's pretty cool. Another steamer. And then these are your discharge. That's your discharge. That'd be cool to drive. I want to drive this thing. That'd be cool. Let's see if we can see in the back. Storages. Oh yeah, they got a bunch of old fire extinguishers back here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I think you can sit in it, but I don't want to.
No. We have one of these. Our fire department still owns one of these.
Where?
This. It's down at the city shop because we don't have room in the hall anymore. But yeah, we keep it because it's old and it's cool. Old boots. That's back when they didn't have bunker gear. They just wore them boots, hoping to keep you safe. Old smooth bore nozzles. The old rubber coats. Those things did not protect you for nothing. They kept you dry. That's all they did. They didn't protect you from fire, that's for sure. It looks like one of the first SCBA masks, self-contained breathing apparatus. Pretty cool. I think this is the police station, I think is what it said. Oh yes, old guns. Oh, old fire extinguisher. These are pretty cool. Here's the jail. Yeah, that's for sure. Ugh. How would have you liked to be in that sucker? How horrible. Wow. Alright, so this is totally to embarrass my wife. She told me when she was a kid, she grew up here in Worthington, Minnesota. She told me when she was a kid, her and her friend would come here like all the time in the summer and act like this house was their house and they would play house in it all the time. So, oh, they got a garden. You got a garden. Huh. Yeah, so we're gonna check out my wife's childhood play home. I'm not reading that. Holy smokes, that's a lot to read. This home was built by James B. Green in 1988. It was the home he lived in after he moved into Worthington from his farm in Elk Township after Julia Ann's death on January 8 of 1891. He lived here until his death on January 5 of 1911. He and Julia are buried in a Worthington cemetery. The house was situated where the atrium is now located. 1968 First and Arlene Jennings donated the home to Pioneer Village. Very cool. Huh. Yeah, this is cool. Looks like it's had some water damage. So that must be the kitchen. Yeah, for sure. That's the kitchen. Or this is the kitchen. Maybe this was like the pantry or something. Part of the kitchen, I don't know. Storage room, some sort, back porch. This is gonna end up being a really long video, but I think it's worth it. It's really cool. Like, I'm telling you guys, you gotta come here.
Another doll.
Yeah. Yeah. Scary dolls. You guys gotta, if you guys ever get around this area, you have got to come take a look at this place because it is it's very cool. You know what this house smells like? It smells like my grandpa and grandma's old farmhouse that they lived in for years, a long time.
Should we see if we can go upstairs?
I think you can, but I'm a little scared, so I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna let my 11-year-old daughter go upstairs first because I'm a little scared. Oh man.
Okay. These are like our stairs.
Yeah, they're really narrow and steep. Oh, our house is old though. Our house is 120 years old at least.
Oh, bye. Yeah.
Little kid's bedroom. Man, more
dolls.
Freaky dolls.
Oh, there's more.
That's freaky, Nora.
This looks like Maybe my room if I was.
Oh my gosh, them dolls just they drive me nuts.
Maybe my room if I.
I don't like. Oh, there's another room. I didn't know there was a room here too.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that, people. No. Not cool.
That's the bathroom, I'm guessing.
I don't know. What, if they had a bathroom
Don't know.
back then? I don't think so.
These
I guess it could be.
these floors feel like they're being held by like one plank of wood.
I know.
And look how tall these stairs are. So it's like.
Right. Yeah, they were all about efficiency back then.
Hey, my.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh, my kid.
Oh, our basement stairs.
It is. That's what it is. It's just like the basement stairs. All right. Yes. I think there's another house. I think over here that way. Hopefully, maybe I'll show you again. So this is the last building, I think. Yes, for sure. So the house that we were just in sounds like it was a house that was in town. This is a farmhouse that was in a rural setting. I'm sure they look very similar because this is a nice looking house too.
This looks like Grandma's dining room.
Does it?
That we used to.
This is a big kitchen for an old house. Pretty big kitchen. Oh my gosh, you can go upstairs here too. I don't know. I think I've seen enough scary dolls. Oh yeah. This is a nice house. Right here. Wow. Old bedroom. This one's been kept in nice shape. The wood floors are pretty amazing. I don't know if these are original though.
Here's your.
Oh, another doll. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Nobody smiled for pictures back in the day.
Why?
I don't know. Oh, stoic. Yeah, see, there's another baby. Why do they have to have babies in these things all the time? Gosh, darn it.
I'll go upstairs.
I'll go too. I'll go first this time. Gosh, darn it. Going upstairs.
These ones are steeper.
Yeah, they are. Oh, you can actually go into the bedrooms in this one. That feels soft.
What?
That's a nice piece of old furniture right there.
Beds are comfy. They touched it with being.
Yeah, at least there's no dolls in here. No dolls in it this time. This is a
What's
nice
that?
attic space. Somewhere that I don't want to go into.
Oh yeah.
Look at how steep these stairs are, people. Good night.
I'm gonna fall.
No, you're not. Just gotta watch where you're going.
I've fallen down our basement stairs once, so.
Well, that happens.
Isaiah pushed me.
All right. Oh, old ice skates. And that they strapped onto their shoes. All right. Oh, here. This is the house in its original setting. So yeah, this was a farmhouse on Lake Okabena. So this is all Worthington. Oops, sorry. This is all Worthington back here. That's the city of Worthington. This is the lake that, well, Nora and I have fished it a couple times. Didn't have any luck. So yeah, this was just outside before Worthington got really big, I think. That's what it looks like to me. All right. That's the tour. Like I said, I didn't show you everything, so you guys gotta, if you ever get down this way, I think there's a sign on the interstate as you're coming through town that says, oh, it's getting windy, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I think there's a sign that says it's here, so, and then there's a big, right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not. Yeah. It says Pioneer Village, you can't miss it.
And you can see the water tower from
Yeah, yep, there's no
interstate.
old water tower that you can see too. So, yeah.
Alright, let's take this way.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna head out here, guys. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it if you like the video. My fingers are always in there. If you like the video, go ahead and like it, and if you want to subscribe, that'd be great too. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll check you later.